Okay, so I finished my little structure. Magnet, whatever. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. Probably a fridge magnet. I got all the elements on it that I wanted. And now I'm going to paint it. Now, Bridget Thompson from Powertex was asking me how these new colors that I got work on the stuff that I'm making. See, I got some mica colors, powder colors from MAC. And then I also got my Color Arts Silks acrylic glaze from, yeah, Color Arts. These are a liquid glaze, and they work really, really well. Then I also got from Luminant Art, I got these, they're called H2O colors. You mix them with a bit of water, and you can do like watercolor paints and all that. But I found that these actually really work well on these as well. It gives it a really nice luster and whatnot. My oops, where is it? My favorite, absolute favorite of those colors is called Scarab Beetle. Oh, this color is so pretty. It's a little bit of a patina kind of color, but in a dark greeny red way. I'm going to get a big one of these because I'm using a lot of it. I found that this is just, you put this, and then if you want to put, I've got the iridescent colors as well, and if you put the iridescent green on with this, the project just pops. It's unbelievable. So anyway, I think I'll show this one to you. I'll do this with this color. And, oh, what else should I do? Didn't really think out my color scheme yet. Oh, that might look nice. Oops. I'll do the Jasper red in the silk. I mean, look at how deep and rich that color is. Oh, God, I love it. And then I'll do her face and everything in the Scarab Beetle. And I will, excuse me, I'll show you what it turns out like. Hopefully it turns out. I'll feel like a real idiot if it doesn't. Okay, so you put a little bit of water in here. I just take a paintbrush and put it in my water, because when this mixes, or when it dries, there's no water left in it. It just solidifies again. Hey, mix it all up. It looks green when you look at it, but then when you put water on it, all the reds come out of this. And, oh, so pretty. Okay. So, because I can't lift this off here yet, I'm just going to tilt this so that you can see what I'm doing. So you don't need a lot of this because it's very watery. So, and it will run all over the place. So you just put a little bit on, and you're going to need a couple of coats of it. And look how pretty that is already. Sorry, my lighting in here isn't that great. But hopefully you can get the idea. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I'll see if I can turn my light a little bit. Oh, there. See that? I mean, just, oh, love it. This is by far my favorite color out of all of these watercolors. I didn't get all the watercolors, so I'm not entirely sure what the other ones are like. I got a few. There's an orange one that has yellow in it, and it looks really nice. Okay, and then let that dry. Now I'm going to go back in with this color. I'll use what's in the cap for now. Okay. Then you just go in and you just tap it on. I used a bit of material on this, and I used cheesecloth to make the, I want to call it a babushka. I'm Irish, why am I using that word? But you know what I mean. Now, these colors, though, when they dry, they don't dry the same color as they do when they're wet. They're a little bit matted or muted, but they turn out more of a matte color. So that's when you go in with your iridescence, and it makes a huge difference. I mean, I was just playing around with these, trying to figure out what the best color schemes are, and just trying to figure out these silks colors. And that's the best thing to do, is to just play around. And these colors will bring out all the little details. Cheesecloth is a little bit hard to paint just because there's so many holes, but you just do the best you can. And sometimes, like, the Powertex will show through, and it gives it a really neat look to it. It just gives it a little more detailing, a little deeper detailing, to give it more of a 3D effect. Now, Powertex only sticks to natural products, so it won't stick to plastics and stuff like that. They have to be 100% natural. I have done a few things with rayon. Rayon's apparently a natural product. I didn't know that. But I think the yarn that I used for some hair on my sculptures had a bit of acrylic in it, and technically it's not supposed to work because it's not natural. But it did. So it's just a matter of trial and error with Powertex. As long as you just go with the basis that it has to be a natural product. Cottons are great, silk, satin, glass, wood, stuff like that. The rest is, you know, like these metals, this metal piece. It doesn't stick very well, but when I put cloth over top of it to hold it in, once the cloth has hardened, it sticks pretty good. I'd be very careful. I would just use a little bit of something if you're not sure. Just don't use a big piece in a project and then have your project get ruined because it didn't adhere to it. I would just test it first. I know that's a pain in the neck, but you know what? When you're doing a big project, it saves you time later and the heartache. I mean, I would hate to have a beautiful project, be completely destroyed because the Powertex didn't adhere to it. That would be devastating for me. There we go. Now this color is beautiful on its own, but I like to play a little bit with these. So I'll let this dry, and then we'll add some other stuff to it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. You see what I mean by it kind of dries a little bit muted. It's still a beautiful color, but it needs something else. So this is the iridescent green, and it'll just it'll add a little bit of green to this, and then the iridescent red. And then I got my MAC teal color, and it's not really teal, it's more of a green, green, but it's a lot green actually, but it will work. I don't know why they called this teal, because it's really not, but we'll just add a bit of this as well. Okay, let's start with the iridescent red. And this is also a liquid. Okay. Now, you've got the option. You can either put it on the whole thing, or you can just put it on little spots, just to bring out a little extra in certain places. I like to pretty much do the whole thing. This has got a bit of like a glistening to it. Like a shimmer. So it adds a lot, and then when you put your varnish on top of this later, it really adds to it. It really brings out a lot more color. When I put on the green iridescent, that's when I just put it in certain spots, just to give it a little extra something, you know. I know I'm a nut bar, but that's what makes me fun. When I'm crafting, it's like all of my weirdness comes out. I guess some people call that creativity. Now this will dry red, not white. Okay, now here's the iridescent green. Mix that up a little bit too. Okay, now this one I'm just going to put in little spots. The reason why it shows the green is to kind of go with the patinaed color of the mask. It just kind of ties everything all together. There we go. Now if you wanted to, you could put the iridescent green on the mask, but I think the color of the mask looks great the way it is, just with that scarab color. So I'm not going to add to that. Okay, now my instructors that I learned Powertex with, they've been asking me about these mica colors. Mica colors, this is basically just mica eyeshadow, right? And I just add it in little spots, just add some depth. So you just basically just put your paintbrush in there and you just dab it, and it will adhere to the paint. And the mica colors are very shimmery, and it just brings out that little bit extra shimmer in your project. And you don't need a lot of this. This is just accent color. Oops. Basically now all you do is you let it cure. It takes 2 weeks to cure. I know that's an impossible time to wait. But, oh, here, I'll show you some of the other ones that I did. Oops, I'll pull you out here. These ones have the varnish on them already. And they're ready to have the magnets put on them. See, this is what it will look like, the patina color. This is what it will look like when it's done. I just absolutely think that's gorgeous. So, and then the blue one. And this is paper, right? And it's hard. And it won't, if you take it outside, now that I've got the varnish on it, it will be protected. Oops. This is the same color that we used on the other one, on the one that we just did. And that's what it will look like. Except I didn't put green on this one. So it will come out a little bit different. This is the orangey yellow one that I was talking to you about, except I put some extra yellow in this. So yeah, so that's what they look like. They're a lot of fun to make, and they become an addiction. I found out. So yeah, so if you want to learn how to make these, contact me. If you live in the Vancouver Island, BC area. I live in Nanaimo, and I will have a class going for these, and let me know if you're interested. Okay, so keep calm and craft on, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.